Welcome to the live stream, everybody. It is Wednesday, February 24th, 2021. I'm John J. II. I'm here with the Beeper Man. Tony, how we feeling today, man? Feeling alive?
Bankers, listen, I'm alive. I'm kicking. I'm swinging for the fences. I'm breathing. Okay. Another exciting live stream set up for the people out there today. Just happy to be here.
Yeah, it's a good day. You know, I've been a lot. I'm just going to tell everybody, I was out of it a little bit on Monday, just kind of, mentally is a little bit drained, a lot going on, everything, kind of piling up. But listen, I'm feeling a lot better today. I'm feeling ready to conquer this live stream, and I'm really excited for it. Everybody has those days, right?
They do, and that's what I was going to say. Everyone has those days, okay? It's all about bouncing back, okay? Being on your tippy toes the next day and just getting after it. I mean, that's just what it comes down to.
Exactly. It boils down to that. And everybody has to deal with adversity at some point, and everybody deals with it differently. So if you're dealing with adversity in your life, you got this. You can conquer it. And don't get discouraged, because every day you get a new day. So it's kind of like a refresher. It's actually kind of nice.
So I do want to say something really quick, okay? For the initial people that are watching the stream with us, okay, go ahead, do us a favor. First, hold on, go back to two boxes. Tell the people where we're streaming.
So everybody, we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Perfect.
Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So be mindful of that. If you don't have those links, check them out in our link tree. They are somewhere on our website and on our Facebook page, so check it out. And that has all our different streams. So if by somehow, some way you're not able to watch the stream on Facebook, you can watch it on Twitch or YouTube on Wednesdays. And then on Mondays, we usually go live on Periscope along with YouTube and Facebook. So
I wanted to say this, everyone who's watching with us right now, everyone who's tuning in, okay, just hit the share button. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, I don't know if you can share that. I don't know how that works. If you're on Twitch, I really couldn't tell you how that works either, to be honest with you. But if you're on Facebook and you're watching with us, hit the share button. It takes a half a second. Okay, get us out there to as many people that need to see us, that need to hear us. Okay, we appreciate that in advance.
We'd really appreciate that if you did that. So thank you guys so much in advance for doing that. We appreciate your support. Thank you for tuning in to the live stream. We got an exciting show for you today. So let's dive right into it. Very pressing issue. Tiger Woods had a crash yesterday, and it was a pretty devastating crash. I thought it was going to be another Kobe kind of situation. Thank God it wasn't. Tiger Woods has been one of my athletes that I've really admired throughout the years. Even he's had his ups and he's had his downs. I understand that, but he's been a guy that I've really looked up to for a long time, and gave me a lot of strength to get through a lot of things that I've got through in my life. So talk about adversity. He's reached the pinnacle of adversity,
right?
And the different facets of his life. But thank God he's okay. It doesn't seem like there's a life-threatening injury there. There was talks about some kind of infection with his leg. There's a big-time injury to his right leg, from what I heard. And from what I also hear, there was no alcohol or drugs involved, which to me, it's going to sound weird, but it kind of surprises me to a little bit of an extent, because you watched him in an interview right before Max Homa won. You see him on an interview. He looked kind of out of it. He looked kind of zooted a little bit. Did you see that too, Tone, or was that?
He looked absolutely higher than a kite. Okay, in the interview at the Genesis Open. But here's the thing, I've said before, I've said it in podcasts, I've said it on live streams. I'm a very big believer in that there are very few athletes that really shape and mold their sport. Okay, that really change the entire landscape of the sport. Like in basketball, Michael Jordan's one of them, Steph Curry's one of them, Kobe's one of them. In football, Tom Brady's one of them. So some of these big time, defense. J.J. Watt's a guy that I think really changed the landscape of how defensive players get paid. So there are a handful of guys that change the landscape of the game. Okay, Tiger Woods single-handedly has shaped the entire world of golf when it comes to endorsements, when it comes to just the way he wins, the audience that he hits. Tiger, there is no getting fired up for golf on Sundays when it's championship Sunday if it's not for Tiger Woods. you know, when he walks out there in his championship red shirt that he's so, you know, popular for wearing. And to almost lose another high profile, you know, inspirational athlete like Tiger Woods, it would have been absolutely devastating. Now, is he ever going to come back and swing a golf club? I don't know. I mean, it's tough to say. You know, there are reports saying that he's going to need complete reconstructive surgery on his ankle. So there's kind of a lot, you know, up in the air. But at this point, at this point in the juncture, I'm just extremely thankful that at least he's okay, that he's going to pull through this one way or another. All the golf stuff can wait and be secondary, but it would have been really tough, man, losing another guy like Tiger Woods.
Yeah, you know, I completely agree, and it's just like devastating to see that it was so close to happening, you know, and just that, you know, it was scary. That kind of, I don't even really know how I guess there was somehow the video out. I got to find it. I saw a news outlet post that there's a video of the crash, so I'm gonna have to find that. But you know, nevertheless, I mean, it's just it's kind of startling to see, especially you just saw him on TV on the other day for the Genesis Invitational. But nevertheless, I mean, the same thing happened with Kobe, though. We've seen him he was at a Lakers game with LeBron, you know, dapping LeBron up when he was on the court. And it's just like, next thing you know, he's gone.
Right.
And it's just like, that's how fragile life is. It could really be here and there. And it's going to be here for 1 second and gone in the next. So, you know, it's important to keep that in mind.
I mean, another, you know, I don't know. So I struggle with, you know, a lot of people saying, so I mentioned to a few people at work, a couple of buddies of mine, you know, talked about, man, like, you know, is he ever going to golf again? Is he ever gonna, and people's first reaction, oh, he was done anyway. He was done anyway. He wasn't going to win anything anymore. He wasn't going to. That doesn't matter. Like him, whether he was going to win another major, whether he was going to beat Jack Nicklaus's record, whether he was going to even make a cut, you know, after, you know, it doesn't matter. I'll tell you this. So growing up, I used to go to the Buick Open with my grandfather at Warwick. Okay, it was every year I looked forward to it. Was pumped to go, and I'll tell you what. I have never seen a group of people follow an individual athlete like Tiger Woods or the way people followed Tiger Woods at Warwick. I mean, he had thousands and thousands of people following him at this golf tournament. And the Buick Open wasn't, you know, a huge major. It wasn't like the Masters, but the crowd of people that still followed Tiger was absolutely unbelievable, and being able to watch him golf live at the Buick Open was a treat in itself. But for some reason, there's still kind of this negative air, you know, surrounding Tiger. And listen, guys, he's in my lifetime, I'll never see another golfer like Tiger Woods ever in my life. You know, and I've always said, you know, I appreciate greatness. I'll appreciate the greatness of an athlete. And guys, we almost lost one again. So, you know, don't bash the guy. I mean, listen, yeah, has he had his ups and downs in the past? But listen, he's still Tiger Woods. I mean, come on.
Yeah, everybody deals with adversity. Everybody has their ups and downs. So you got to keep that stuff in mind. You got to focus on, you know, what's happening. There's a real. I mean, everybody has. People think of these athletes and celebrities. Even they think about them like they're just, you know, they're completely void of being involved with the real life, and it's just like they're real people too, you know. You got to keep that in mind. So that's something that could be easily misconstrued, and I think that should bring the focus back. And unfortunately, these events have to happen for people to realize that. And you know, the thing is, the people will continue to bash Tiger Woods even after this event. So sad stuff. Hopefully he's okay, can make a recovery. He was even talking about how he has just started his recovery from his recent surgery. Right. Yeah, so same surgery that I had. So, you know, he was talking about, you know, playing the Masters in April and stuff, and now it doesn't seem like that's going to even be in the question. He'd be lucky to play in next year's Masters. So,
right.
Prayers to Tiger Woods, and I hope that he makes a speedy recovery out of this. Moving on, MSU beats Illinois last night, and Tone, I think you got to tell the people because this is kind of something we talked about off air. But I think you threw some coin on this game. You tell us about that?
I almost, John, I almost didn't tell you because I had this little feeling in the back of my head saying, you know what, Tone, if you tell him what you did, he's going to tell the people. He's going to bring it up to the people. So, yes, I threw some coin, in this game, and everybody knows how big of a Michigan State guy I am. I've bashed him lately. I've bashed Tom Izzo lately. But so I threw – listen, I'm just going to come out and say it. I mean, there's no beating around the bush. I threw money on Illinois at halftime, okay? I threw money on Illinois at halftime. They were down 10 going to the half, or maybe down 8 or 10 going to the half. And I threw money on Illinois live betting money line in the second half. And, and on the flip side, I told John I was okay with losing that money. Like that was money that I was okay losing because of how well Michigan State ended up playing. So did I bet against the Spartans again? Yes. But was I happy to, was I okay with losing that kind of money? Yes, I was okay with it. Now listen, now hold on. I don't think I'm getting enough credit. John. Okay. I don't think I am. So right after I put out a PSA calling Tom Izzo out, calling out the Michigan State basketball program, after I put out the most popular video, I mean, it's all over the universe. Everyone's watched it. Me calling out Tom Izzo and the boys and the Spartans in green and white. Okay. They go out there and get a win against the top 5 team in the nation. So again, I'm not saying I deserve all the credit, but I'm just saying I don't think I got enough credit for motivating the guys to get that W against Illinois last night.
Yeah, I agree with that too. And I also had a gin and tonic that was about this same event, and just kind of the same exact thing. Kind of jumping Michigan State, jumping Tom Izzo's ass a little bit. But they need that. I mean, Tom Izzo's a guy of integrity. He's a guy that he'll chew your ass out no matter who you are.
And I saw that last night.
Yeah. You did that. But the thing is, what you did is you got in their ass about it. You jumped their ass, and then next thing you know, you're betting against them. So it's kind of a double-edged sword a little bit.
Listen, what is our John? What's our phrase?
Bet with your head, not with your heart.
Okay, so I'm going to leave this up to you. I'm going to ask you this question. Michigan State, the most inconsistent basketball team in the entire country, is only up by 10 against the number 5 team in the country. Okay, and you look at that game live bet, and Illinois, I mean, the numbers were absolutely off the charts. What are you going to do in that situation?
Okay, so one, it depends what point in the game we're at.
It was halftime.
Okay, it was halftime. So there's a bunch of different factors that come into there. They're coming off a really hot first half. Tom Izzo's probably fondling their balls a little bit in the locker room, getting them fired up. Knowing what I know, and just because I like to watch the pace of the game. The pace and momentum can change at any point in the game. I understand that. But being able to see that in the first half and seeing it kind of transpire into the second half, there's no way I would have bet on Illinois live bet at halftime.
Yeah,
and that would be betting with my head. That's completely objective. That wouldn't be betting with my head. Or that wouldn't be betting with my heart. That'd be betting with my head.
Was that betting with your head?
It would have been if I bet it.
Well, listen, I threw coin on Illinois, and fully expecting Michigan State to fall apart in the second half. And here's the thing, though. For any Spartan fan, okay, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to call out all Spartan fans. I'm going to call them all out right now. For Spartan fans to watch the first half of that game. Now, did Michigan State play good basketball? Absolutely. They were rebounding. They were moving the ball in transition. And they were not selfish with the basketball. That was the first real Michigan State half of basketball that I think we watched all year. But I'm going to say this. If you're a Michigan State fan and in the back of your mind you're thinking Michigan State's, Michigan State's won it. They're not going to blow this game. I'm going to call you out because I'm watching this game. And again, the best half of Michigan State basketball I've seen all year. And I'm thinking in the back of my head, Michigan State's going to blow this. They're going to figure out a way to blow this game. I mean, did that cross your mind at all?
It crossed my mind. But I mean, there's just the commanding lead that I seen and the chemistry that I saw on the court and how Illinois really couldn't figure it out the entire game. I don't know if you noticed that.
Well,
but they couldn't figure out anything. They couldn't figure out how to get the ball down the floor. They couldn't figure out how to get the ball in the hole. They couldn't figure out their passing, turnovers left and right. They weren't making free throws. I mean, it was just falling apart for Illinois.
Well, that was the big thing. That was the big thing that shot Illinois in the foot. I mean, they looked like they had never shot a free throw in their entire life. I mean, they looked like they literally had never attempted a free throw ever. So, I mean, they missed they missed 16 free throws in the game, end up losing by, I don't know how many points they lost by. But listen, regardless of who I put coin on, listen, that is a big time win for Sparty. That's huge.
I mean, they needed that win more than anything else in the season. They needed to beat Illinois. They needed to pretty much win out. And this is a great start, beating Illinois, especially leading up into the Big Ten tournament, which they might even see them again. So Illinois might be even looking for redemption in that contest if it does happen. But, it's just exciting stuff. And it lets you know that this Michigan State team, you really can't knock the players because we have the players on the field, on the court, and we have the players on the roster to be able to get the job done against top-tier teams. So they're not down, they're not out. They can honestly beat anybody if they want to bad enough. I don't know there's a switch that got flipped on. I don't know what it was, but something clicked. Something clicked, and it worked. And they weren't even making all their shots. They were missing quite a few shots, but they were getting the rebounds. Langford was hustling, making the layups. The floaters were dropping. It was really nice to see State win and dominate that game.
Right. I mean, listen, it was like watching Michigan State, in years past. It was a really good. Okay, so Mr. Sobolewski need to win 3 and split. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Out of these last 4 games, I think they had to, or 6 games. I think they need to win 3. One of them. Listen, this is the toughest stretch of 6 games that anybody has in the country. Michigan twice, Ohio State, and then Illinois, all ranked in the top 5 in the country. So Michigan State's got a really tough schedule coming up. But I think Sobolewski's right. I think they got to at least win 3, and they got to beat Michigan at least once. So
you got to beat Michigan at least once. That's going to be tough to do against a hot Michigan team. I think they're what are they, 3 in the nation?
They're 3 in the country right now, yeah.
So, in Ohio State, there's a lot to talk about there too. And, it's going to be a dogfight going down the stretch here. And you got to win these games when they count. And Izzo's got to be pounding these guys even harder than he was the entire season because now they're fighting an uphill battle. So it's not ideal, but it's not impossible either. So we just want to see – even if we get a low-tier seed, that's honestly the best that we can ask for at this point. Right. And then we're going to probably play – we could possibly be playing a team like Gonzaga in the first round. But listen, we're not going to talk about that right now. Once we get to the tournament, then we'll deal with all that stuff. Okay, and Maryland. That's not going to be an easy game either, but I think that's a very winnable game for State. Moving on, let's talk about the Gin picks. So the Gin picks for today, we can kind of go through them in depth. So I have them on the screen right here. So I have Carolina plus 1.5 tonight, Florida money line, Philly money line, big Flyers guy. Then I got Miami -2. Who are they playing? I think I'm fighting you on this one. I think they're playing Toronto tonight.
I think they are too. I think I took Toronto money line.
I'm riding Miami -2. I got to get the edge on you somehow, so I might as well fight you in the same game. And trust me, that's completely objective. It's not even because you're taking them. And then I got Mississippi State money line in college basketball. Didn't really like too many of those games, but we'll go into the guest picks here after Tony. You explain yours because Sam had a lot of college basketball.
Again, John and I listen. John and I talked about this earlier. As much as we want to see each other, hit on our picks and our bets and win money, listen, him and I are competing against each other, right? Him and I compete against each other. So really quick, Heat have an early lead against Toronto in the first quarter. So we both went ahead and took Carolina plus 1.5. And it looks like that did not even come close to hitting Tampa Bay kicked the shit out of Carolina tonight.
What?
Final score of that game's 3-0. Carolina didn't show up to play ball.
How's that already over?
It's over.
Oh, geez, oh, Pete.
So here's another thing. John won't like this one. Florida got their asses beat today by Dallas. Dallas beat them 3-0. Final for that game. So then my other pick, I think I took the Kings. I took LA. I think I took them plus a +1.5 over St. Louis. That game obviously won't tip off for a while. And then my NCAA pick. Who did I take, John? Who was my
Alabama money line?
Yeah, I mean, listen, 6th ranked team in the country playing Arkansas. I mean, to me that was an absolute no-brainer. So hopefully Alabama hits, Toronto hits, and I at least hit on the Kings and Minnesota plus a +1.5. So I'm only dropping one game. Carolina just shit the bed on us today, man.
I think I might put them on my shit list because
but they were playing so good.
Getting sick of it. I'm getting sick of it. Period.
I mean, they were playing so.
I might just dodge those games for a little bit. Just kind of get them back on the tracks a little bit. Just kind of figure it out. Because listen, I'm not in the position right now to be losing games. I'm playing every game I play, or every game that I pick. I have to win because I have to get over 500. I was almost there. I'm actually pretty close. But those losses, I got to bring those down. And once we kind of get those evened out, then we're feeling good.
Philly's doing. Philly's currently kicking New York's ass.
So I like it.
Philly's up 3-1 about midway through the second period.
Come on now.
So you might hit that one.
Florida Panthers. Come on now.
They got their asses kicked. I mean, they're a top team in the league.
They lost today?
They got their ass kicked. Yeah.
Florida too?
Oh,
my God. That just goes to show we don't know anything when it comes to NHL. We have no idea what we're doing. And I'll be honest, I've been sleeping on my homework. I've been sleeping on my homework.
I mean, hold on. I'm only out one game in the NHL. I took 3, so we'll see how the other 2 do. I mean,
those are later games. Games.
I mean, listen. I would like to say my NHL picks. I'm above 500 on the NHL picks.
I mean, don't get too cocky now.
I mean, John.
That's all I'm gonna say. Hey.
Right? I mean, what?
Don't piss me off on the live stream.
I mean,
we don't know shit about NHL. Okay, pardon my French.
Pull the records up? Do we gotta pull the records up?
I don't think we have to do that. But listen.
Okay, pull it.
Okay, come on now. Hey, whoa. I gotta get this out. So NHL, I feel like it's so hard to pick because you can have a team like Florida and Carolina lose when you're giving them a goal and a half, and they're still losing. And Tampa Bay's covering against Carolina. It's just like, how do you pick these games? It's like who's hot, who's not.
Well,
and records throw them right out the window because it really don't matter. It's who comes to play. I think NHL. If you're going to be a professional handicapper on NHL games, you have to be so spot on. You have to pick the upsets. It's just like you're throwing money at the wind. I mean, come on. What are you doing?
No, so I will say this about the NHL. I will say this about puck. To me, records necessarily don't show what a team's capable of doing. I personally think there's a lot of differences this year in the NHL that we haven't seen in the past. Now, granted, listen, we took Carolina plus a $1.5. They're a top team in the league. They're top of their division. But listen, they lost to a very, very good Tampa Bay team. Tampa Bay could very easily be in the Stanley Cup Finals this year. So, I get that that didn't hit, and it's kind of like, well, what the hell? But in the same token, they lost to a very good team. Now the Florida game, Florida just flat out got their asses kicked. Florida showed up, in Dallas today and didn't know whether they were on foot or horseback. So the Florida game is a little weird to me, but again, the Dallas Carolina game, listen. I've been riding the Carolina wave, for a minute now because they've been the underdogs, the last few games. But again, you're losing to a top team there. I mean, they're not losing to the Red Wings in that game. They're losing to Tampa Bay. So
That's true.
I mean, it's a tough loss. You know, you and I both got to take that one right on the chin. But you know, I don't think we shy away from Carolina just yet.
I put him on my shit list.
Oh, he's already.
You can bet him. You can bet him all you want. Listen, I'm out here. I'm playing cutthroat. Okay, we're not playing tiddlywinks anymore. I'm playing cutthroat. Okay? Listen up. You're betting NHL. Listen up. Period. End of story. Let's move on. Listen.
Well, are you gonna put
NHL anymore? I'm about to not even put any more NHL picks out. Probably for a week.
Are we putting Sam's picks on there?
Yeah. Let's do that.
You're just gonna scrum over that.
We have the best. Let's just see the best we can do as far as looking at these picks. Because I can't zoom it in because Facebook is not optimized.
I can't believe you just said you may not put out an NHL pick for the rest of the week.
Listen, okay, we're splitting hairs when we're talking about this because I cannot fathom the fact that I have a losing record, first of all. And second of all, that I'm going to keep incurring loss. I've already got 2 losses in NHL right now. I'll be lucky. I mean, with my luck, the Rangers will come back and beat Philly. So, listen, I'm just going to take a break. I'll be back. Trust me, I'll be back, and I'll be better than ever. Minor setback, major comeback. Let's jump into Sam's pick. So, NCAA basketball, he has Alabama +2. He took them with the points. St. Bonaventure +2.5, Wake Forest +2.5, Virginia and NC State took the under 126.5. I think that was a good pick. And then Vanderbilt +8. So if you can see that on my screen, hopefully you can. You might have to get your binoculars out. So it's a little bit hard to see, but that's okay.
I mean, he solely went college basketball.
Yeah, he said it's all he bets. I was talking to him today, Sammy. It's all he bets is NCAA basketball. And, you know, that is what it is. I guess that's fine. Whatever he wants to bet, he can pick whatever he wants to pick. He'll probably be back on the bus as far as guest picks go. But next week's window is open. So if you're watching the stream right now and you want to get on the guest picks, shoot us a DM on Facebook. We'd love to get you on there. We'll go over those picks in depth. To the best of our abilities, a lot of these games like St. Bonaventure and Vanderbilt games, I'm not really looking at that game at all. I'm not even looking at lines on it because I don't know nothing about Vanderbilt. I don't know nothing about St. Bonaventure. So
well, I mean, here's the thing though. The only thing I don't like in that pick. So St. Bonaventure is a basketball school. Generally have a pretty solid program. Make the tournament, you know, every 2-3 years. You know, obviously they're a mid-major, so you know they don't get the attention that a lot of the top programs get. I don't mind that pick. I don't know how they're doing this year. Obviously, I haven't followed them at all this year, but I don't know what the hell they're playing. Vanderbilt +8. I mean, Vanderbilt being in the SEC, I don't know who they're playing. Hopefully, it's somebody shitty because they got to cover almost 10 points. The one thing I don't like in that is, listen, I don't like taking the under in the Virginia NC State game. I just don't like that one. I'm not a fan of taking the under in especially a conference game like that. NC State needs to win this game in the conference. I worry about Tem hitting that one, you know, for the under. But yeah, I mean, listen, I think Alabama +2 is an automatic lock. The other ones I could really give a shit less. You know what happened. Well, listen, obviously he's competing against us today, so we want him to lose on every single bet that he puts out there. So yeah, I just hope every single team that he bet on, you know, doesn't show up and he loses every single game that he bets on.
Hey, we'll see what happens. He's been doing pretty good. He's been sniping these NCAA basketball games, so we'll see what happens.
I hope Virginia and NC State set a record for most points scored in a college basketball game.
Oh man, we'll see. I mean, I don't even know what the median would be if I was to set a median for NCAA basketball over-unders. What would a good range be for, okay, if it's this, then I'm taking the over. If it's this, I'm taking the under.
I think if you see it around 120, that's 60 points a pop, right? 120 points. Anything below that, if the over-under is 118, 119, I'm smashing over. Anything over 125, maybe 130. I don't know. I'm probably taking the under on that. I don't know. That's a really good question.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to look at some scores and kind of see how Vegas kind of sets those lines because I want to be able to make an under over ratio. And listen, life is too short to bet the under anyway. So that's one reason why I don't like that pick. But college basketball, I feel like, is so inconsistent as it is as far as scoring goes. I mean, you can have them smash the under, and the under could be 70 points. So
right.
I mean, that's a little bit.
Completely off topic. Well, that's not really completely off topic. But speaking about over unders, do you remember when the Saints were playing the Broncos, and the Broncos had that wide receiver playing quarterback, and the over under in that game was 33.5, and we demolished the over. We said, 33.5. Are you kidding me? Between two teams, right?
Yeah,
and
the under smashed.
And the under demolished in that game. Absolutely cleared it, in the under. So I mean, that just goes to show. I mean, I get it. Denver had a wide receiver playing quarterback. I get that, but I mean, you really never know.
But come on now. I mean, you're talking 2 touchdowns, maybe a field goal. You're at 17, and then you think about the other team probably scored at least 20.
Right.
I mean, come on now.
And it wasn't even close.
It wasn't even close to touching it. It wasn't even like within a touchdown. I think it was more than that.
Yeah, bless it.
All right, so let's move on. Let's talk about the Oklahoma football player Spencer Jones bar fight. So this is all over the radio waves. This is everywhere on social media. If you haven't seen the video, check it out. And if you haven't seen the video, we'll show you here in a second. Actually, we'll show you guys right now. I'm gonna get it booted up, and then we'll get you guys going. So let's watch the video and kind of look at it objectively. Oh, see ya. There we go.
Oh, it's gonna get so bad. It's gonna get so bad. Talking shit. He's an Oklahoma badass, he thinks. And then it's donezo right now. See ya. I mean,
well, they weren't even ready for him to throw hands. They thought they were just. Well, the guy who screwed him up was the guy behind him.
Yeah,
the guy behind him really started escalating things, and then he wound up getting his ass beat too, if I believe.
Well, then someone gets thrown in the stall when a dude's taking.
Yeah, it's the guy in the blue sweatshirt. Right.
Yeah, I mean, he gets thrown right in the stall where someone's dropping a deuce, a Cleveland steamer. The next thing you know, there's a bar fight in your stall.
Well, he's taking a steamer, and the door's wide open, so he must be open room service. Oh yeah, he got him right in the corner.
Motherfuckers ain't playing around, bro.
Oh! Look at him just feed him.
Well,
okay, so
Nikes. That kind of looks like it's just open season, no COVID's going on. It almost looks like the bathroom at Harper's.
Yeah.
In East Lansing when the bars are wide open.
So
what's going on here?
So John, I just want to ask. So initial thoughts on that, John. I want your initial thoughts.
I thought it was a very clean fight. I think there's a lot of shit being talked to supposedly some MMA fighters that were just in the bathroom trying to wash their hands, get some paper towels after they either dropped a Cleveland steamer or they just ripped a piss. Right. But listen, it didn't look like they were really starting anything. It looked like the other guys were the aggressors in the whole situation. So I think it was completely justified. I think it was a fair fight. No one got cheap shotted. So listen, I'm fine with it. The guy almost lost his eye, so I think that should be noted. So
what does that mean? He almost
there's no ref. There's no ref.
What does that mean? He almost lost his eye. Like he can't see out of it anymore. Like what? I mean,
it must be. I don't think it was coming out of his head, but he probably almost lost vision in it. I would assume.
So I'm gonna give my initial thoughts on this one. Don't talk shit to a kid who's got cauliflower ear. Just don't do it.
Just dodge a bullet. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Dodge the bullet. Don't talk shit to the kid that's got cauliflower ear. And here's another thing. I think this will kind of put all big time college athletes on notice. Just because you play football at Oklahoma, just because you play football at Michigan State, just because you play football at USC or Texas or wherever, doesn't mean you're a Barney badass. It doesn't. And off of that video, off of the video that we just watched, to me, listen, the guy got his ass beat. It is what it is. don't run your mouth to someone who's got cauliflower ear. That might be on our next T-shirt. Don't run your mouth to someone who's got cauliflower ear.
It might be. That's a good point. And that'll transition us into something that we'll say when we wrap up. But yeah, I mean, there's some things you got to kind of, realize. And these football players, they think they're alphas wherever they're at. They're at a college, if they're at the bars, wherever they're at,
right.
They'll think that they're just kind of, on top of the world, on top of everybody else, kind of an anomaly in the situation and kind of just push everybody around. But in the reality of it, you really don't know who you're pushing around. You don't know who you're messing with.
Right.
You don't know who you're talking shit to. So you got to be mindful of that and just kind of focus on, being a decent person, not being a piece of shit.
Listen, come on, just be a good dude. Just be a good dude. I mean, they're out there at the bar. They're all having a good time. Just because you're this Oklahoma football player, don't start flapping your gums left and right. Just be a good dude. And listen, props to this MMA fighter. I mean, if I'm Dana White, I may be giving this kid a phone call. I may be dropping a line. Or if I'm, Conor McGregor, maybe I'm signing him to my team and, seeing what the kid can do. Because obviously, he threw 2 punches and that dude didn't. The Oklahoma kid didn't even know where he was at after that. That Oklahoma kid was spinning.
Oh, yeah. There's got to be drinks flowing, right?
For
There's
sure.
got to be some alcohol in the bloodstream.
Sure.
But I think that's somewhat irrelevant given the situation. And yeah, if you're Conor McGregor or Dana White, I think you're giving these guys a phone call. Good stuff. So we'll wrap it up there. Thank you guys for tuning in. I guess, Tony, you got anything left for these people? Anything you want to announce going into the rest of the week, into the weekend? Let's give them a little something.
So obviously, thoughts and prayers to Tiger Woods, to him and his family. Obviously, we wish nothing but a speedy recovery. He'll be in my prayers for sure. Gin and tonic coming from the guy to my left tomorrow. Not gonna drop any hints onto what it's on. I'll let him just release that on his own. Big weekend this coming up. This coming weekend in sports. Obviously, podcast coming in on Sunday. Everyone who's tuned in on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitch, thank you guys so much for doing that. Everyone who's going to watch this stream after it's been live, thank you guys for watching us after it's been live. Hit the share button. Give this to as many people as you can. Other than that, that's kind of what I got for him, John.
Good stuff. Just want to share a little quick story I see on my Twitter feed here from the New York Times. There's an 105-year-old woman that beat COVID, and she credits gin-soaked raisins.
Listen.
Come on.
That's not a surprise.
I'm not surprised in the slightest.
That's not a surprise at all.
Come on. It's right here. The proof is in the pudding. But listen, guys, thank you guys for tuning in again to the live stream. Everything Gin and Tonic from me coming tomorrow. It's on a subject that I'm not going to release right now, but it is on a very prominent current event. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, be sure to share the stream any way you can, get the word out, because I know there's an audience that we're wanting to reach that might not be getting it, and that's always going to be the case. But as many viewers, as many eyes we can get on this stream, the better. So we're looking forward to getting more of those people on here. But yeah, everybody that's been in our circle, we really appreciate you guys and all the support you've given us, all the messages. We really appreciate it all. As far as gin picks go for this coming week, if you want to reach out to us and we'll put you on for the gin picks, we'll post them on Wednesday. So get in touch with us before that. But yeah, there's a lot of big things coming, a lot of big events on the way. So stay tuned to all of our social media for that. Our website, Facebook. I posted our link tree on the bottom ticker there for a little bit. But yeah, find all of our links at ginpros.org. You can find everything on there, everything you need, the podcast, live streams, gin and tonics, you name it, it's on there. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you guys for tuning into the live stream. I'm John J. II with the beeper. Have a great night.